Small story. In one Vedanta bookshop, one volunteer was standing and explaining the books to the customers, other devotees who come there to buy books. One devotee went there and asked, there was a Sankara Bhashya and Ramanuja Bhashya, two books, Shankara's commentary on Brahma Sutra, Ramanuja's commentary on Brahma Sutra. These two books are created enough trouble in India. Not only these two books, of course, they have done a great service. But for these two books, the spirituality wouldn't have been alive in India. The same way, the equal amount of problems also they created. They did a big service and they created enough trouble, problems also. Anyhow, the volunteer, the customer who went to buy the books, he asked, "Sir, what is the difference between these two books? Because both are written Brahma Sutra." Volunteer said, "Oh, 45 rupees. The whole problem is just 45 rupees worth. Nothing else." When you start, the truth, it is not even 45 rupees worth. Anyhow, here Shiva is not bothered about the differences. He is straight away giving jumping pad for every being to take the quantum jump into consciousness. That is why I tell you, I think he knows about human beings. That is why what all problems can come, not only he has predicted the problems, he has given solutions also. All other prophets, all other prophecies, they only predicted problems, whether it is Nostradamus or any other. They only predicted problems. Shiva is the one and only master. Not only he predicted the problem, he gave the solution also. He gave the technology also to experience it. Let's enter into the sutra. With utmost devotion, center on the two junctions of breath. Know the knower. Shiva is the only master. Not only gives respect to devotion, is such a great master, the devotion towards him, he turns it to a devotion towards yourself. He is such a great energy. He straight away helps people to turn the devotion towards him, to turn as a devotion towards yourself. That is why Shiva Bhakti, the devotion towards Shiva is very easy, and it is more oriented towards the spiritual experience and meditation. The more you start your journey towards Shiva, he will be again and again putting you back towards your energy. He will be turning you towards yourself. He will be again and again turning you. Look into yourself. Look into yourself. He uses his form only to create inspiration in you. The moment inspiration is created, he just puts the whole energy back into yourself. And Shiva is such a wonderful being. Throughout his teachings, he is completely accepting you as you are. He is turning the energy directly on yourself. That is why almost all Advaitins will be Shiva Bhaktas. All Dvaitins, the people who speak about duality, will be Vishnu Bhaktas. All Yogis, people who speak on the yoga, will be Devi Bhaktas. It's a big three major groups. All the yogis will be the bhaktas of Devi, all the Dvaitins will be the bhaktas of Vishnu, all the Vedantins, enlightenment-oriented people will be the devotees of Shiva. Because Shiva again and again teaches you, inspires you to enter into yourself. Throughout the Shiva Sutra, every step is inspiring you to enter into yourself. The bhakti towards the Shiva, the devotion towards Shiva, how it takes turn as devotion towards yourself and how it leads you to knowing the knower is this sutra. With utmost devotion, center on the two junctions of breath, know the knower. Now you need to do two things. First, you need to have a deep devotion. One important thing, the devotion, as far as the devotion concerned, whether it is towards God or Guru or towards yourself, it liberates. You don't have to bother to whom you are devoted. The very quality of devotion is enough to liberate you. People come and ask me again and again, Swamiji, there are so many gods. So many God problems also solved practically now. The real problem in the modern day is so many gurus. So many gurus. What to do, Swamiji? How to choose? How to know whether somebody is enlightened or not? I tell them, never bother about that. There is no scale to measure whether somebody is enlightened or not. Because only an enlightened person can recognize another unenlightened being. Whatever scale you may have, it can't be foolproof or completely truthful. Only one way you have. If you feel connected to Him, if you feel really your heart is vibrating with Him, if you feel that you are in tune with Him, then even if He is not enlightened, don't bother, just go behind Him. Even if He is not enlightened, you will become enlightened. Be very clear. Even if He is not enlightened, you will become enlightened. If your heart is not feeling comfortable, if your being is not in tune with Him, even if He is enlightened, He can't help you. Forget about Him. It is all about your heart. It is all about your being. If you feel connected to Him, don't bother, just jump. Fall. Just drop. Even if He is not enlightened, you will become enlightened. Because your very devotion, your very surrender has got quality to liberate you. That very devotion, please be very clear, the sutra does not say with Shiva Bhakti, no. With utmost devotion, with pure devotion. It doesn't say you should be devoted only to Shiva. It doesn't say you should be devoted only to Krishna. It doesn't say you should be only devoted to Rama. It doesn't bother you should be only devoted to Devi. No. He says with utmost devotion. And the next statement, next word, is turning the whole devotion towards yourself. First, you need to have devotion. Next, turning the whole devotion towards yourself is beautifully taking us step by step into the enlightenment experience. With utmost devotion,